Hello. Hey, YouTube. All right, so it's time to have a conversation about changing and adapting, because that is such a huge part of having a small business or trying to create a small business, or even if you are a veteran of a small business. We are constantly having to change and adapt along the way, and that's just part of life in general. So anyhow, I want to share with you guys sort of my journey right now and how I have had to really adapt to some very rapid growth in my business since I have switched from an online business to a brick and mortar. So let's get right into it. All right, so if this is your first time on my channel, my name is Jessica, and I'm the owner and operator of Round Town Candle Co. I'm a small hand-poured soy wax candle business, and I'm based out of a little town in Ohio. And I had my business online beginning September 2022. And September of this year, 2023, I transitioned into a brick and mortar space. And so my sales from the online business up to that point were good, but not anything that was overwhelming or hard to handle. And so when I jumped over onto the side of having a brick and mortar, I really did not know what to expect. And I think honestly, when we go into any business venture, you really don't know what to expect. And a lot of it is kind of a guessing game, a ton of trial and error. And that's what I'm talking about with just making decisions and then adapting as you go along or as needed. And I don't think that that ever stops, no matter how old your business is, no matter how long you've been doing it. I don't think that you ever stop having to make adjustments or make changes. That's just the part of growth and just change in general. So when I first started with my brick and mortar, I was really unsure of how to price my products, not how to price them, but how to present the pricing. So I do have a little bit of decor in my store, and that stuff is easy, but focusing on the candles and wax melts and freshies and things like that, those products, candles specifically, I really did not know how to price, how to present the pricing, I should say, because I didn't want to, like, here's one of my candles. And so I didn't want to put a sticker on the glass jar because that can be hard to get off. I didn't want to put anything on the bottom that was going to cover up the warning label because that's obviously important. So I had thought about taking like some twine with a price tag and doing that around the candles. And then I was thinking, well, people open them up to smell them, and twisting them back on, and to keep something in place would be extremely difficult, not to mention how time consuming it would be to attach that to each candle. So I really wasn't sure how to kind of set things up in the beginning. So I use Shopify, and I use the Shopify POS, and I've got the barcode scanner that I use for my store. So what I thought I would do, and what I started out doing is I have this little 3-ring binder, just a little cheapie, and everything is in alphabetical order. And basically what I would do, you can see, like, for each product, let me flip to one that's got everything. All right, so like for my hot apple pie, you can see I have a barcode for the 4 ounce, the 8 ounce, the 8 ounce 10, the wax melts, and the freshie. So whenever somebody would purchase that product, I would just flip over to that page and then scan the barcode that's applicable for that product. And then, like I said, everything's in alphabetical order and it's all in here. So I thought, well, I'm just gonna start with that and see how it goes. And if I need to make changes, then that's what I'll do. So I started out, and for the most part, it worked out really well. And then occasionally if somebody would come in and they were maybe just gonna buy one candle, then I wouldn't even sometimes fool with that. I would just type it in real quick on my iPad. So it's all working out fine, and I'm thinking that this is like a really great way to run the store and to be able to scan these products. So fast forward and business starts to really grow. My customer count is growing. My number of products being sold is really growing. So what would happen is I'd have somebody come in and they might set 5 or 6 candles up there, all different scents, and then maybe throw in a couple freshies or a couple wax melts. And so then here I am flipping around here, and I'd flip around and scan everything, and then I'd look and maybe they had a freshie of a scent I'd already been on, so I'd have to go back. And I'm realizing that it's becoming extremely inefficient. And that's the point in which I know I need to come up with something else, because the last thing I want to do is be inefficient. I don't want people to be waiting. I don't want to look like I am not organized. I don't want to miss something because I, am trying to engage with the customer during the checkout process while also trying to work on what I'm doing. So if I'm flipping over and if I hit the wrong barcode and don't catch it, things like that. So right away I can see that something's going to have to change. But I really was not sure what the best way would be to go about that, because once again, I don't know how to get the pricing on this candle in a way that is going to make it easy for me to scan the product and easy for the customer, so that they're not having to, scratch off a sticker or worry about things like that. So I sort of just started to brainstorm, try to come up with different ideas. I worked with different ways to attach a string around here, like I had said, stuff like that. And really nothing was working out great. So I finally came up with the idea that, I can redo my warning label, and I can condense the information on the warning label while making sure that the important information is still there. And I can leave a space for a barcode. And so I tried that, and this is what I've come up with. So you can see that there. So this is my coffee shop candle. I went ahead and put the price on there just because I figured that will be easier for my customers when they're looking. Right now I have price sheets kind of throughout the store, and while they work, sometimes if you're not right in front of one, you just don't really know. So I wanted it on the candle, on the label as well. So now this barcode is specifically for this 4-ounce coffee shop candle. So all I have to do now when people come up is take my scanner and I just scan the label, the warning label on the bottom with the barcode, and it automatically, puts it up under their cart. And then we do the checkout process. And let me tell you that has been the best change ever. And it took forever. It felt like forever because it was in the middle of the busy season. But I decided I have to do this. So I went through, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how I did it for, I'm going to walk you through one label so you can see. So it's not hard to do, but when you're doing them for every single candle and every single variation that you have, scent, size, and all that, in the middle of when you're already busy, it was a little hectic. But I wanted to get it done because I wanted to be able to make it go much smoother, and it has. So that big chunk of work that it cost me in the beginning was well worth it. So now I have these little zippy folders, and I've got 3 different ones, and then in them I have envelopes, and they're in alphabetical order. And so like the one on top is BB4, so that's my bourbon butterscotch 4-ounce candle. And so in this envelope I have these labels where I've printed extra so that the next time I pour these candles, I have these all ready to go. They're already barcode labeled with the price on them and everything. So I have these for my 4 ounce, my 8 ounce, my 10. I've got them for everything. I also made them up, printed them up for my wax melts and freshies, and so I've got these available so that when I make those can get barcodes on them too. And those are just barcodes, and those are easier because I can print those right off of my app. And so this one is the only one that was a little tricky because of how you have to transfer the barcode onto the warning label. So I will show you guys that. And if you have any questions about it, please feel free to leave that in the comments and I will respond. But you know, I think it's just all about, like I said, being able to adapt and make changes and be able to recognize when you get to a point where you're no longer efficient or where you feel like there's going to be a risk of mistakes being made or, you know, just problems with the process that you have in place. So don't be afraid to try things out because you never know when something's going to work. And then when you figure out that it's not really working that great, you can come up with something better than do that. So don't be afraid of those changes and don't be afraid to try something and have it not work, because that's just part of growing a business. So anyhow, I'm going to flip things around. I'm going to show you guys, walk you through the process on my computer, and so you can see how it's done. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, it'd be super great if you would do that as well. And yeah, lots more videos to come. So I hope you guys are doing great, and stay tuned to see the process of creating these custom labels. I will see you guys soon. Hey guys, okay, so I am going to go ahead and take you through the process of creating my custom barcode labels. So there are only 2 programs that you need to have open to do this. It's super simple. So the first one is the Canva, and then also over onto my Shopify account. So over to Canva first. This, I am using my small candle warning label. And so basically, as you can see, I have the warning message on here, and I also include the price of the candle just to make things easier. And then we just need to add in the barcode. So I will show you how we do that. So over on my Shopify account, underneath apps, I have an app called Retail Barcode Labels. And over here, I have created a template for the size of label that I use when I'm printing these out. So in this case, I'm not printing them, but I'm going to show you anyhow. So you go to Create Template, and it will show you the different templates that this particular app will allow. So I use Avery and I print myself. So, you know, I just click on the label size that I use, and then it'll show you over here what that label will look like. Now, this is a smaller label, so this one, that's all you get with it. If you want to print a larger label for products and things like that, you can do so. And then like you can see your different options down here. So you could click product name and it will show you that in the box and things like that. So anyhow, I already have my template created, so we don't need to go into that. So you can see down here, this is the size that I'm using. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go over here to print labels, because I've already gone through the process of creating these barcodes. So every product that I have already has its corresponding barcodes. So we don't need to go into that step. Today, we're just simply going to try to generate the barcode that we can transfer over to Canva. So I'm going to click on print labels, and it's going to bring up my product list. And for this one, I will just show you my bourbon butterscotch 4-ounce candle label. So we're just going to print one label, and I will show you, this will make sense in a minute. So I have my template up here. So this shows the size of label that will be printed. I have my bourbon butterscotch. I have one variation selected, and that's the 4-ounce. and I'm just going to generate one label. So we're going to click on print one label. It's going to bring this up, and we're actually going to save it as the PDF. So I'm going to click on save, and I already have my label folder, and so I'm going to call this one BB4 for bourbon butterscotch 4 ounce, and then I'm going to save it. So it's showing that it already exists because I have already actually done this. I'm just showing you guys. So for the sake of this video, we're just going to replace that. And that's all we do with the app. We're done. We can cancel that. So now we're going to go over to our label, and over on the left hand side on Canva you can see where it says uploads, and we're going to click uploads, and we're going to upload files, and there's that BB4, and so you can see over here on the side now it's uploading to the project folder. So we'll go to the project folder, and we're going to click on the BB4 PDF, and we're going to add it as a new page. So now up here we have our warning label, and then below we have this PDF. So you can see that you can click on the price or the SKU number and things like that. We just want the barcode. So I'm going to click on the barcode, and we're going to copy that. Then I'm going to come up to my label and just click wherever and right click, and we're going to paste it. So it brings it up here to the top. So we'll drag it down, and then I just take one corner and bring it all the way over until I get that solid line, and then I grab the opposite corner and again drag it over until we get that solid line. Then I'll just take it and move it down just a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just, want it to look nice on the label. So now we are done with this page. We got our barcode label. That's all we needed. So we're actually going to delete that page. So now this is it. We have the label for the 4 ounce bourbon butterscotch candle. So we've got the price on there. We have all the warning information. And most importantly, we have the barcode. So now we're going to download that label, and I always choose PDF print. We're going to download that label, and where it downloads up here, you can see it right there. So now we are going to print, and once again, we're going to print this. We're going to save it as a PDF. So we'll click save. Again, we're in the label folder. That's just how I do mine, and we're going to call it the BB4 because this is our bourbon butterscotch 4 ounce label, and we're going to click save. Now, it already exists because we just saved it as the little barcode label. Well, we now want the warning label, so we're going to replace it, and now we have the barcode label. And so all we can do from this point then is now that we've got this in here, we don't ever have to do anything to change this label unless the price changes. If the price changes, then I will have to go in and make changes to this label. But until then, it's in here, and all I have to do is just simply print. And for these labels, I actually print these directly to my Rollo printer, and that's how that works. So it is super easy, you guys, to make your own custom labels, and especially if you use Shopify and you have the barcode scanner, because even if you don't have a brick and mortar, but maybe you have you're at a market or you're doing something like that where you've got the connection, you can use that label, and it just completely streamlines the checkout process. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will catch you guys later.